Welcome, everybody. This is July 31st, 2024. This is an AKKO Masterminds call. We have a couple of special guests on here that Ed is going to announce. Ed from AKKO, by the way, in case you guys didn't read the headlines, and I'm Brian from the Repairers First Association. Ed, you do now have multiple screen sharing capability. I'm going to turn it over to you.
See, now you got me on the maps, like trying to map out how far different cities are from Kansas City.
Not on the recording.
Yeah. Right. So where did my screen? Here we go. All right. So hey everyone, thanks for joining. I think I'll turn my camera on now that Sean did. Thanks, Sean. You ruined it for everybody. All right, wait. Hey, so as Brian mentioned, this is the AKKO Sales Masterminds call. We do this every 2 weeks, so thanks for everyone who joins, who's joining today. If you haven't been on the call before, we try to mix this up with different topics. When we have new product updates, anything AKKO related, we'll share it on here. Then also we really want to focus on sales. We did sales positioning last call, so we'll probably do that again next call. But this week, here's what I got for an agenda. We'll try to keep it short and sweet. And as always, really appreciate any feedback you guys have. We want to use this as an open forum so you guys get something out of it. And also, so we get things out of it as well to make sure we can constantly improve our program and what we're giving to you guys. So what we have for discussion topics today, back to school. We have our special guest, Jesse Jameson from the AKKO B2B team. He's going to tell us a little about school opportunities with you guys. I want to talk about marketing, so make sure you guys have everything you need from a marketing standpoint from us and help us create other items that you might need and anything else that you guys want from a marketing standpoint. Then I have a couple quick updates about leasing, financing opportunities, and then wanted to get some feedback from the point of sales that you guys are using and share some feedback on that as well. And then at the end, we'll just kind of open it up for anything you guys have for us.
And somewhere in the middle of all that or in the beginning, make sure you do a intro for Sean, please.
Oh yeah, Sean, let's do this. Let me get Jesse going first because I don't want to keep him. He's been super busy. So let's go with Jesse first, talking about school. Then I'll squeeze Sean in here in the middle, if that's cool, Sean.
All right. Well, thanks, Ed. Thanks, Brian, for allowing me to be here. So yeah, just real quick, it won't take a ton of time, but one thing that really sets the opportunities aside, AKKO is involved in the K-12 space. So any type of school, charter school, private school, public school, Catholic schools, anything like that. Any school that, most schools, 98% of schools have devices, one-to-one devices. So that means, one student, one device. So, on this slide here, schools have no deductibles as well as there are unlimited claims. So most of the offerings that they have from a manufacturer standpoint, they're limited to the value of the device, limited to 1 or 2 claims per year type of thing. And typically our price point will come in right at where that manufacturer's warranty would be, potentially, 3 to 5% more in some cases, just depending on the coverages. So when we talk about coverages, we offer, obviously accidental damage coverage, mechanical breakdown, theft, standard perils, which are fire, flood, power surge due to lightning, and vandalism, as well as simply losing the device. So we can break those up. We can customize a program to fit the school's needs. And when I say that is from how it's purchased. So we have options where the school can purchase protection for any of those coverages. For all the devices, we have options where the schools we can create a landing page where they can purchase coverage through AKKO for the families can purchase the coverage at the end of the day. And then, how claims are filed, again, that's totally customizable. So really any way we have something for every school or every district that you guys are going to come in contact with. So I would say, Ed, Brian, maybe help me out here. Footprint wise of your locations, what, 25, 30, 35 minutes potentially?
Footprint. I mean, what's your question again?
In regards to the school districts that they would want to, that these
Oh,
would want to
yeah.
call on,
Really
probably,
kind of depends on the makeup. I mean, if you said 25 minutes in downtown Chicago, well, then you're going to be over in
yeah,
like 4 different school districts. So I would say I'd probably go more of whatever's local. Like if you had a youngster, what school would they be going to? And I would focus on that district primarily. Um, but you probably wouldn't be afraid to go out an extra 10 minutes, because some of these are going to be pick up and drop off. You don't want to commit to yourself for an hour on the road to go get some phones. And plus that might be in someone else, area. But I would say if you could at least attract the school district in your area, where like if you had a kiddo where it would go, that would be a perfect start.
yeah. Or, also think about opportunities. If you've got a district that, and there's no, competing locations within, a 45-minute radius, and it's a school district that has 100,000 students, and you have an opportunity there,
Yeah.
yeah, I think most of us would be willing to drive, if we're picking them up, that 45-minute trek
Yeah.
to pick up, because I mean, 100,000 students are going to have a lot of damaged devices. So yeah, but anyway, going back to, Ed's slide here, not trying to get off topic, but you guys would earn 10% of that plan value. So, I mean, we're working on a deal with a large district in Texas right now. It's, $1.3 million in premium. So if you guys brought that to the table, 10%, that's a pretty good check. So, a lot of and I know the question could be too, what's the average deal? I mean, we have deals that are $1,000. We have deals that are 1.3 million. In my career, I've closed deals up to, 4.5 million over multiple years with lots of devices. So the opportunities are out there. Again, the way that we customize it on how it can be purchased and so on and so forth, we have something for every school district or every school that you would run into. So feel free to reach out to me. I'll put my information in the chat, or reach out to Ed or Brian if you didn't get it off of the chat. Would love the opportunity to work with you and the surrounding schools in your district. So if anybody has any questions, I obviously willing to answer those now, but again, would like to work with each one of you in the future.
In the past, I've had people that will send an email to me with like some contact information, and then I would forward it to Eric, or now you can be yourself, and that way if it's coming from me that they're already set up and approved for repairs.
Yeah. But yeah, any questions you guys would have that you come up after the call, my information's there. I put in the chat. Or if you didn't get that, feel free to, again, reach out to Brian or Ed. They've got my information. And, it's as simple as you having a conversation with the school and the school saying, yes, let's talk. Get me involved. I can, be on that first initial call, or, we can run through a demo of, everything and go from there. But, I appreciate the opportunity of Brian and Ed bringing me on the call, and look forward to talking to each one of you in the future.
Cool.
One
Awesome.
one question I do get asked a lot, and I don't know if you have an answer to it, is I mean, I know you got deals that range from 1,000 to 1.3 million, but if it's a school that has, I don't know, Chromebooks,
Mhm.
not going to hold your feet to the fire, because I know it depends on the amount of coverage in which they want. But typically, what does that look like per device if they had 5,000 devices, let's just say?
Yeah, great question. So on an annual basis, again, depending on coverage, you can figure an average of and again, when I say 15% of the device cost. So, we talked to a school, like I priced a school yesterday, the iPads were $529. Well, they got a bulk discount. So we set the price point for that replacement at $549, because if they have to replace one or two or five, they're gonna pay, it's gonna cost them $549, not $529. So really, that's my job, to do that investigation and understand where their value needs to be set. But back to your question, In regards to that, I would calculate roughly 8 to 15% of the device cost. If it's just accidental damage, it's going to be, that 8 to 10%. If it involves mechanical breakdown, theft, loss, and everything, it's going to be closer to 15%. Here's another thing I didn't bring up, and I'm glad you came up with that question, Brian, is we can also insure used devices. So don't think the school has to have brand new out of the box devices for you guys to have a conversation. So think about XYZ school district that's right in your backyard. Let's have a conversation. How are you protecting those devices against damage? When your kids are on the bus, at home, so on and so forth. So feel free to, again, mechanical breakdown, that gets a little sticky on used devices and it depends on the age. But accidental damage, I mean, we're taking the school's word that they're not broken. They're signing off on a waiver, that type of thing. So again, new, used, it doesn't matter. We can cover it. So.
Perfect. Thank you, Jesse.
Yep, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Jesse, for joining.
Yep, I appreciate everyone's time and look forward to hearing from you. Like I said, if you don't grab my info off the chat and want to talk, get with Ed or Brian, and they'll certainly get you in contact with me. So have a great day.
Perfect. Thanks, Jesse.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, let's. I'm just gonna back up here. We'll hand the floor to Sean here real quick. But just to piggyback on what Jesse mentioned too, like some of the times of those school deals, you have a lot of times have the opportunity of you getting the repairs. So that 10% you get off that initial deal is kind of is great, right? But you can get the residuals, door swings from the repairs. So great opportunities. Lastly, too, we have a very similar model for B2B, where if you guys come across business accounts that someone needs 50 lines of cell phone coverage or computers, whatever that setup is, we have basically the same thing as well, like the same referral system. So we'll cover that on another call, but in case you guys are already digging around with businesses, just wanted to get that on your radar. So Sean, let's toss to you.
Hey everybody, Sean Davis with Lux Wireless. Thank you very much, Brian and Ed, for the intro. I've probably met several of you guys at different shows throughout the years, but Lux Wireless as a whole, we are wholesalers of cell phone accessories, unlocked devices, on-demand screen protection, and referring partners for people like AKKO. I would say that's kind of the high-level view. We do view ourselves as solution finders. We do take sales more as a consultative approach. We listen to our customers' insights of what their need, what they want, and from there we really do try to come up with custom solutions to fit each person's individual needs. And perfect. I would say that's kind of us in a nutshell.
Yep.
Awesome.
And I'm sure you probably have a lot of sales experience in selling accessories, which, I mean, let's face it, the AKKO program is darn near the same thing as selling tempered glass or a case to somebody. It's a presentation. Wouldn't you agree to that?
100%. It's one of those things that it's a extra arrow in the quiver for the salespeople to pitch to every customer that comes through the door. It's a great chance for the dealers to increase their revenues. Every dealer that I'm talking to is, looking for additional revenue streams. So this is a great product to add to it. But it's the sell process is very similar to any accessories or any other device. I would agree 100%.
And you can even wrap AKKO in a bundle. And Ed has some ideas on that he's been sharing with people. But you can take those accessories from Lux and you can wrap it into a bundle and say for X dollars, you buy this, you get this case, you get this, you get that, you get 1 year of AKKO and one claim on an iPhone. If it's an iPhone, there's the $29 deductible is waived. Just because you had this Lux wireless case, whatever. I mean, you can bundle. There's lots of different ways to bundle it. And if you guys, I believe on our last call 2 weeks ago, Heeman Smith was on there. I would definitely go back and watch that video as well on how they bundle it into the cost of the repair. So there's multiple different ways to sell AKKO. So Ed, back to you.
Awesome. Well, cool. Well, thanks, Sean. Let's jump back in. The next topic we wanted to chat about was marketing. So first off, if you guys haven't seen this yet, we updated our new one pager. You can download this from the sales portal. You just go into the portal, click on marketing, and then you'll see all the downloads with its kind of the new graphics we have. If you guys want this laminated, like printed and laminated, let me know. Just send me a note in the chat here. I'll put my email in here. Actually, it might be easier if you just send me an email with your store address and how many of these you need, and then I'll get these shipped out to you here pretty soon. The other thing, just looking for some feedback as well for what you guys have needs for. One of the things I wanted to mention too is the referral link. So we have a new process set up. So any of you that have a website, and I don't know how you'd want to promote this, but to give you an example, we have someone they have their own website. They created a page that just explains AKKO, and they're focused on the damage plan. So they're only going to promote this $8 plan for this purpose. And what they're doing after every sale, what this guy does is that he follows up with every customer. He has a handful of stores, so he's obviously not dealing with every customer transaction. But what he wants to do is follow up as the owner and say, hey, hope your experience was great, blah, 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 blah. And it's either done by text or email. And then he said, hey, just so you know, we have a promotion with AKKO to make sure that your device is protected moving forward. And it has a link to that page. And so the customer can click the link, and then they have the ability to purchase the plan. That sale is tracked to his location. So he does get, the same compensation for selling the plan as he would every other plan. So if it's something you guys want to get set up with and you have the capability to create your own landing page within your website, let me know, and we can get you set up with those referral links to ensure that you're getting paid. So it's really cool.
Let me just quickly expand on that, Ed. So just so that you guys know, he isn't saying that you can only do the $8 plan. If you're on here and if you want to do even email campaigns to your customers and your previous customer list, they can make you, and they're not using impact much anymore because that doesn't show up on your dashboard. Okay. It takes a little bit of time. It might take them a few days to get this for you, but Ed and Lucia will work on you, and they'll get you a custom link for any of these plans that you want to promote out to your database. So not only can you have it on your website, or like what Ed was talking about, you can do an email campaign or a text campaign, and you can choose if you want to do the screen, the damage, or the 8. So what you would do is that either email Ed, myself, Brian at repairsfirst.org. Actually, email me at AKKO, AKKO at repairsfirst.org if you would, or you can email Lucia as well, and we'll get you added to the list. Now, Lucia's out of pocket for a few days, so it'd be middle of next week before she probably responds to you. But in any event, utilize these marketing techniques and tools that, even though they didn't buy from you when they were in your store, it now will pop up on your dashboard so that you know. And then I would encourage you, when you see a new one pop up on your dashboard, call that customer. Hey, customer, did you upload the 2 required photos? Do you need any help? Can I help you do anything? And just make sure, because again, as everyone on this call knows, those 2 photos that are required are the most important thing in this whole program. So I would strongly encourage you to reach out to them, because you're going to get the commission for doing it. So you're getting quote unquote paid to do it. So if you see them just pop up on your dashboard, reach out to them, make sure they're all set up and ready to go. Back to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Brian. And then finally, what else? I'm just curious if there's anything else out there that you guys need. The one thing that we probably won't be doing anytime soon is posters, just because it gets to be really challenging and costly logistically getting those out. But if there's any other digital assets or any other type of marketing that you guys want.
You want to do a contest, Ed? Whoever hits 50 plans first in the month of August gets a poster?
Sure. Yeah, that's great. I don't know how many people are going to be yeah.
Something? I don't know.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Or any store that
Sales.
hits 30 plans in the month of August. I mean, I know I'm putting you on the spot. Sorry, but you brought up the word posters, not me.
Yeah, no, because we get that
I get asked that a lot.
Yeah, yeah. And so, and the reason why, like, we did this what, couple years ago.
Yeah, everybody got the posters and
Everybody
nobody
got
put them up.
posters, and then people say they want posters, but it's not the posters. They cost a fortune to ship and create, and then those stores don't sell anything. So we want to, they might look in your store, but they don't really deliver sales for us. So we want to make sure that we're giving you more assets that you can utilize in your social media or any sort of in-screen monitors or anything else that you really need. So I'm just kind of wanted to float the question out there. If you guys have any ideas, maybe you don't have it right now. If you do, feel free to chime in. If not, you can always ask us down the road or send us an email when the light bulb goes off. So since you guys are quiet, let's see, we got a chat. Let's see if anybody in the chat.
Go ahead, Sean. You wanted to add something?
I was just going to say that with some of the other partners that I work with, what we've had some success with, Ed, is if you had the digital artwork for the poster, if that could be disseminated to the end dealer for them to use their local printer or something like that, a lot of times it's not super expensive. Then they have a little bit of skin in the game as well, and we've had some success with that. Just an idea.
Nice, I like it. All right, let's move forward. You guys, Android has sent you a message. Send me your address if you can. You can, if you could email it. I put my email up there. It's edward@akkko.com. I put it up there in the chat a little bit before your message. All right, so next slide here, leasing and point of sale stuff. So leasing and financing, we know this has come up in some calls. I know this has become a kind of a newer revenue potential for all you shops out there that are selling devices, right? So as phones get more and more expensive, you have customers that aren't able to get new devices from the carriers, and everybody wants like the latest and greatest, right? So these leasing and financing options are out there. If you're selling devices, you can you tap into RTO, Acima, and Progressive, all the other guys out there that are doing this. One of the things that we've been playing with some kind of piloting with some different partners is bundling in protection for those lease payments. If you are actually doing the leasing yourself, the risk is huge. So adding some sort of protection into that bundle makes a ton of sense because it helps protect your device, right? We know that when customers have a leasing or financing plan set up and something does happen, let's say the phone gets lost or it's damaged beyond repair, or even damaged for the most part, they might just be like, gosh, I don't have, I don't want to mess with this. I'm not going to pay to get it fixed or get it replaced. I'm just going to stop making my payments, and they're going to bolt, and you're off the cost of the phone. So no one wins, right? So even if the leasing company you're partnered with takes on all that risk, they don't win. You're not getting anything for the lease payments. So what we can do, we have ways to try to bundle it in the monthly contracts. So you're able to do that. We have different options set up from a process standpoint that we can walk you through if you're interested on how to do that. Then also we have an annual upfront option as well. So let's say someone's doing a lease and you want to sell them let's say the $5 monthly plan, which is $60 annually. You can actually sell that annually upfront. And we also have a different process for this as well. You can do it in our portal as is, but you can also take payment for it. So we have a different process which enables you to take payment for that $60. And then the customer's covered. So you can do it for any of our plans. So you can do it for the $8, $11 plan, whatever you want to bundle in. But it's a great way to help get those customers protected when they do those leasings. We even have the ability to do a 3 or 6 month option as well. So maybe the customer plans on paying this off in 6 months. We can just do a 6-month protection plan, which is on that site where we enable you guys to set these plans up and take payments. So if you guys are doing leasing or financing, let us know if you want to learn more about this. It's a great opportunity for you to earn more revenue on the lease and also protect the devices and make sure people are fulfilling their obligation for that entire lease. The next one, well, let me pause here. Do you guys have any questions about this, or anybody doing leasing or financing now that You have any questions about? No.
For those of you on the call, you will need to unmute yourself.
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead, Abel.
So, me and Derek were brainstorming on how to sell AKKO with RTO. I know y'all partnering up with RTO, and we were saying because some of these customers pay in cash, so they come in and they pay us cash for their phones, right? Because they're financing with us directly. So of course we're taking the risk of that phone, being lost, damaged, water damage, etc. How would we sell them AKKO using like how can we go about that selling them the AKKO plan on RTO if they pay us cash?
So are they paying you cash up front just once, or are they doing it in installments, like they're paying every
Weekly.
2 weeks or
So
something?
basically, if they are RTOing payments with us, we're typically doing it weekly payments or biweekly payments. So they'll come into our store paying weekly or biweekly payments
Yeah.
for their phones. So let's just say a customer took a phone for, I don't know, say $500, right? And so we require a down payment, say about $100 down payment. So they will come in every single week to pay off, $40 every week until they pay off the certain amount that we're asking for. But we want to make sure the customer is insured during that moment of time. So what we were trying to brainstorm was how can us as a company protect that phone with a customer paying cash to us
So
with.
I have a question on the cash. Are these individuals that do not have the ability to get a Venmo account or a Cash
No,
App
I
card?
mean necessary cash, meaning that they pay with credit card or they pay with Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, etc. But these are once again customers who we help out that don't, necessarily have the right credentials to finance regularly with other
Understood.
finance companies.
Well, if they
Yeah.
have Venmo or Cash App, it has a Visa logo on it. They can use that to make their monthly payment to AKKO. Then you can monitor it
Yeah,
on your
sometimes
dashboard.
they don't want to do that. So
Understood. Understood.
what we wanted to do was to like basically cover our end. So like let's just say customer runs off with the phone. At least we're covered, right? That's what the question.
But that customer's gonna have to. Ed, will you? I need to defer to you on that, on how that would happen.
Yeah, so no, this is great. I'm glad you brought this up, Abel. So here's how this would work. So if you have cash only customers, or it doesn't even really matter, right?
Yeah.
What you're gonna want to do is do the protection in 3, 6, or 12-month bundles, right? So you're
Yes.
not gonna want to mess with the monthly plan. So what you're looking at now, I'm hoping you're looking at this. Let's see. Yes. This is how our activation process works for these, what I call them annual, but it's actually like kind of, semi-annual or even quarterly, right? So what you would do is we'd have a customized form like this set up for you. It would have your, your store ID. So this all tracks back to you. This is all you have to do. You type in the customer's name, their cell phone number, their email, their IMEI, and then you select the plan. So let's say you want to do, the $11 plan, because with what you're doing too, you probably want to have the lost stolen coverage on there.
Yes.
And maybe they're going to pay it off in 3 months. So what you want to do is add the 3-month term on here, and then you would take the payment for $33. That's it. And so they would pay that up front. So it's however you want to do it too. You can do the 6-month if you want, if you're able to get the $66. However, like I said, it's totally up to you. You have to submit the video. So obviously, since we're doing used devices and whatnot, all you have to do is take a picture, like a video of the phone. So if you have an iPad or a phone in your shirt, you're able to do that and upload it here, and that's it. You type in your name, and then this PS ID will auto generate. We'll have it in the URL, and you hit submit, and you're done. So what we do at the end of the month is we will invoice you for the cost of that plan that you sold, minus like your compensation.
Sounds good. That's exactly what we wanted to know, was more or less how
Okay.
do we pay AKKO to cover us? Basically, that's basically what I wanted to know, is how can we pay y'all for that kind of 6-month term, or for the term.
Yeah.
But yeah, that answered my question fully. So I'm actually gonna forward this to Derek.
Ed, is that so? I want to make sure, because I've never asked this question. So if I own a repair shop and I'm financing somebody, I'm financing Sean Davis on an iPhone 12 Pro Max. And after 3 months, Sean Davis gets mad at me and says, "The heck with you, I'm not going to make any more payments." And he steals my phone. It's still my phone until they pay it off. So is that covered under the $11 plan?
Yeah, so it's a good question. The person covered is the consumer, not the store. So I want to make that clear. So let's say the customer, like in Sean's case, Sean skips, he takes a cruise on Royal Caribbean and never comes back, right? Because he's going to do that one of these days. And he's gone, right? And he has your phone. You cannot make the claim on behalf of Sean. So it's very important that customers know, and this is great too, because customers will know, like, hey, and you want to tell them, like, hey, you're the one insured, so if something happens, you're covered. Like, this is great. Like, you don't want to be stuck with a phone that's lost and you still own lease payments on it, right? But it is the end user that is the person insured, not the store.
Okay.
Yeah.
Abel, did you catch all that?
Yeah, I caught that. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome, sir.
Yeah. No, I'm glad you
So
pointed.
I think Abel, what you're going to want to do is up front tell the customer, hey, look, there's never a reason to not make your payment if you're having a problem. We'll work with you, blah 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 blah. And then say, now if someone steals your phone or whatever, all you got to do is file a claim, and that way you're not having to pay the full replacement value. Now, obviously, in a situation like that, let's just say it was and Ed, if I'm wrong on this, because I'm looking at it, because I know, like, when my wife filed a claim on our daughter that dropped in the lake, it was on a financed phone. So AKKO paid out my wife $900 and some to replace the phone. And then, but yet we had to pay off the lease first through Verizon. It was like $500 left owed on it. And she took the rest of the money and bought a new phone. So the money is going to go to the customer if their phone is stolen. Because I don't think, Ed, you have a way to track that, hey, that phone's financed through XYZ. So the customer is going to have to be the one to say, hey, Abel, I still owe you $300. My phone was stolen. So I guess just want to drive there. Is there a policy, Ed, that you guys are talking about maybe doing to protect the stores that are doing self-financing to keep them from getting robbed?
It's
Yeah,
not
that's a good question.
Yeah, it has come up, but there's just, from an insurance standpoint, it's a tricky policy, because you're with insurance, it's the end user, the person paying for the policy is the one that's covered, right? So there is potential of doing it, but it's also got to be, in order for us to make it make sense, it's got to be really scalable. That's why we're really trying to test this out first to see how many shops are really doing leasing. What Abel's doing is a little bit different, since he's using.
I can help you with this. Every single person I know of that's using RTO Mobile would love to be insured in case their customer stole the phone from them. I don't know if maybe there's something, and there's a lot of people using RTO. So maybe it can be something you can run up the flagpole and say, hey, is there a policy that a shop can pay? Maybe it's a $50, I don't know, fee that, okay, we'll if the customer steals that phone from you, we'll reimburse you your, I don't know, whatever. I'm throwing stuff against the wall. I'm not trying to.
Yeah, we've definitely looked into it. It's definitely.
And then if you're doing RTO, and if AKKO does come up with a plan like that to self-insure you, and if you're having to pay for that, which is, I think it'd be a great idea to bring it to Jared and the team, you're going to add that into the customer's bill, in which they owe you anyway.
Right.
You're going to make them pay you for that. Maybe that's in their deposit, right? So Abel, you got the wheels turning.
Yeah, that's something that can be added onto RTO. Like, for instance, if that's what we're brainstorming, was to add that policy into the customer's finance agreement with us, because since we're the ones financing it to them, we can add that sum into their the whole entire agreement that they're paying. So yeah, that's actually correct. You actually answer some of my questions and even ask more questions than what I was thinking. So thank you for
No
that, Brian.
problem, buddy. No problem. Yeah, we'll sidebar that for now because Ed's only got, I think, about 18 more minutes. So we'll sidebar that for now, but it'll be a
Thank you, Ed.
conversation that we'll bring up at the powers that be.
Yeah, and so Abel, if you want to get set up, just hit me up after this. If you want, if you want to get set up with that that form that I shared with you, let me know, and then we can we'll talk. Either me or Lucia will reach back out and get you set up.
Yes, yes. Please do. Thank you, Ed.
Cool. Awesome. Hey, and then finally on this one, want to talk about point of sale systems. I'm curious if you guys want to chime in. What do you guys use for point of sale? Because one of the things that we're working on is integrations, and we know, I know from past lives in wireless, if we have the ability to enable you to activate AKKO plans within your point of sale, it makes it a lot more seamless for you and the customers. It also helps prompt, anybody in the store who's positioning it to actually make the offer every time, which is key. So as we kind of learn more about the space, and we've already partnered with 2 companies, Repair Spots and My Repair app. Those are the 2 that we're already integrated with. So if you guys are looking for point of sales that have the AKKO integration, we're partnered with those 2. I just want to know who else is out there that we might not know about. So I know there's Repair Desk, Repair Q. Definitely been trying to work with these guys to get something going. And just wondering if there's anyone else that we missed or if you guys have any input there. Sean, what do you guys use in your store? Or do you?
We use NetSuite, which it's not super retail friendly, but for the wholesale side, it's very robust.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have called on you because you don't do repairs.
Well, but we do deal with some in RT2 is very prevalent and I think mandatory in the T-Mobile, Metro by T-Mobile space.
Okay.
And Elevate, which I think is a B2B soft product, is very prevalent in the Boost Mobile space.
Okay, got it. Yep. Perfect, thanks.
Abel, what do you guys use down there in Texas?
Well, so our system's a little different. Basically everything is done electronically. So the customer gets the contract when they lease out a phone with us. But as far as
No.
repairs,
What do you do for your point of sale system? Your customer tracking, inventory control.
we use basically Microsoft spreadsheets. So I just run off the spreadsheets and everything there. So we look at it there and we mark when sold, date sold, how much we sold it for. So we can
Like the
go
point
back.
is like when you're ringing a customer up.
We don't do any kind of ringing. As I said, we only collect cash payments and stuff with RTO.
Okay.
That's different, but we don't collect any other payments. Everything's done with the financing. We don't see.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is like separate from the leasing conversation. So
Yeah, this is point of sale. Like if I had an iPhone 12 Pro Max and brought it into you, what do you use to type my information in the computer so I can give you my credit card?
I don't type any information. I just go ahead and ask you, you want to pay with Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, or I have like a cash register machine thing here, but it's with Derek's bank account that he has it set up with, almost like
Okay.
Square, you could say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mehdi, if I pronounce that correctly, if I mispronounce your name, I apologize. I know you're using a point of sale. Which one do you use? Mr. Maddie? Hello? Andrew, do you use one? I think you work from home, don't you? No, you have a smaller shop. Andrew, what do you use?
I use Square for invoicing, but I always use Ad Central also for ticketing.
There you go.
Hybrid setup.
That's one, Ed. I hear people using Ad Central, and I know Israel and them are probably interested in doing something with you.
Yep, we've talked to those guys. I think they're in the process of pushing out like a more of a
Okay.
point of sale, but all right, well, that's good to know. Thanks. We'll keep moving on here, guys. But I appreciate the input. But let's see here. Oh, then finally brings us to our last slide. just curious if you guys have any questions. This is kind of an open discussion. So what's working, what's not working, anything related to the plans, general program. If you have any program requests, just got a few minutes here just to kind of take it
I
all.
want to, yeah, let's hear from Abel. Abel, you're one of the top 10, top 20 stores every month, have
you.
been for a while. Um, and I think you had made the comment, you're still selling the OG plans, right? The phone only plans, is that correct?
Yeah, so basically we would sell whatever device it is, except for like anything electronic besides a cell phone.
Yep.
I still have like the old system, so I don't necessarily go with the 5, the 11, the that everything's gonna be $8 and above.
Yep.
So automatically, if we know it's a 15 Pro Max, a Z Flip 5, a Z Flip 4, any kind of the flips or the higher end models, automatically they get the everything plan. Like
Okay.
we just pitch the $15 plan straight.
Yeah.
You know, no matter what, even if they get a PlayStation 5, iPad, you know, they get a higher end model, you're getting the $15 plan. I'm not gonna pitch the single plan. Now, if they
Yeah.
get, you know, a phone that, you know, we know that's like say an iPhone 11, we just tell them, oh, look, hey, the iPhone 11 is only $11 a month. You know, hey, look, check it out. Would you like to get this because XYZ, and how beneficial AKKO would be to them. So
And your demographics, I've looked it up. I mean, where your store is, your demographics are definitely not made up of people that make $1 million a year, or maybe even an eighth of that. It's a little bit lower demographics. You know, one of the things that I hear from people is like, Brian, I'm in a demographic where they don't want to pay for anything. They don't want insurance. They don't want this. And how do you get around that in your area? Because I'm sure you experience that as well.
yeah, I mean, that's a good
I hear
term.
you giggling. I hear you giggling back there.
I'm giggling because the way the terms that you put it, you know. But yes, I mean, in the area that we are in, most customers here have, you know, are like to be in the, you know, cheap side, if I may say, to be frank with everybody.
Yeah.
But to overcome that, you just got to go into detail about how much the insurance is going to save them, and what's the deductibles without insurance. Like, so if they don't have insurance on this phone, to say, hey, buddy, you just purchased the iPhone 15 Pro Max. So these require original, right, LCD screens, not aftermarket, and those range anywhere from $400 to $500, you know, dollars for us to go ahead and install it, the parts and labor. But with my insurance today, it's only going to cost you $29. You know, so I emphasize the fact on how benefit AKKO is going to be to them, especially because I tell them they want to save money, right? And they just spend a lot of money. So let me help you save money today.
Nice. Nice. Good job. Again, you're consistently in the top 20. So
No, we
you
appreciate
guys
that. We try to
you
do
guys were number one for a long time. You kind of got beat out a few times, but no, it's,
as long as we stay at the top, we're okay. We're good.
yeah, you're definitely in the top percenters. So thank you very much. And plus, you know, in fact, you don't know this, but one of the very first calls we did, I used your store as an example.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
And I did your average of plans sold in a calendar year divided by the number of claims in which you had in a calendar year, and you know, broke it all the way down to your commissions and whatnot. And you know, stores, and I mean, you're that I think back then is when you first started selling, so it was quite a while back. But you were only averaging like 20 plans a month. I mean, it was good. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't, you know, up there just quite yet, but you were getting there. But you know, even at that 20 plans a month, I think I came out with a math of claims and commissions close to $1,800 a month in additional revenues being generated for your store just off of AKKO.
That's pretty amazing. I wasn't really aware of that.
Yeah, I used your store as an example. I just didn't tell anybody it was your store.
Yeah, no, I'm fully honored. I mean, Derek would be fully honored to hear this as well too.
Yeah.
As I said, you know, we just take it day by day and just pitch it. Just pitch AKKO every single. We're constantly AKKO.
A new report came out recently on the consumer index, and it showed that in 2018, the cell phone repair industry was a $4.8 billion industry. And in 2020, 2003, it was an $8.8 billion industry. 67% of the claims were for broken glass. And in their findings, they stated in there, and if anybody wants the link to the article, I'll be happy to share it with you. They stated in there that the 30% of the average consumer broke their device at least one time in a calendar year, and most times twice. So that's a number. I mean, 8.8 billion. I mean, I hear stores saying, "Oh, we're not busy, we're not busy, we're not busy." This industry has doubled in the last few years. So it's definitely a solid industry, and getting these customers on device protection when these repairs for these newer phones are in excess of $300, $400, $500 to repair them. Yeah.
That's really
Uh,
amazing.
yeah, so let's any other questions from everyone else on the call? Any input questions for us before we head out? All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining. Appreciate the time. Sean, thanks for jumping on as well, and hopefully you get some new customers out of this.
Thank you very much for the invite. Great meeting, very informative. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, and Sean, maybe next time we do one of these calls, we can get a little bit more detailed, kind of give you like a slide or something to kind of
Absolutely.
Yeah, we love highlighting partners on here, so we'd love to have you back on. So thanks everyone. Brian, appreciate it.
Yep,
You guys-
absolutely.
Thank you, guys.
All
You're
right.
welcome. Everybody have a great day.